I kind of put on my cinematic hat, and I'm thinking about the Nutcracker. I'm thinking about what's it like the night before Christmas. You know, all that kind of thing, how the Nutcracker. Well, I kind of came up with something that kind of went like a... It's a little playful kind of thing. And so that's kind of how the record starts off. I kind of hear that kind of music. Our kids are in bed, they're all tucked in bed, and it's the night before. And that's kind of how we start the whole record off. Then you get this whole low thing, and then all of a sudden you hear that my kids, it's really them. They're going 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Then we start off with the song. The frost is on every window pane. Da 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 da. It's got this whole Christmas spirit. It kind of sits over the root. It never leaves. It's in the key of C, which is an easy key, and it just stays there, you know. And then all of a sudden it builds, and all of a sudden the bridge hits, and all of a sudden the grandkids are singing. That is what is special about the whole opening of the record. That kind of sets the record off to a good start. Rejoice, don't be afraid. Here with us, had this, you know, all over the root too. Just like, I have to be honest, I had a really hard time with this chorus. And then I had this crazy idea the night before we had all the background singers come in. Hallelujah. What's that sound like? Handel's Messiah. Hallelujah. A little bit of a throwback to one of my favorite works of all time by Handel. And then we keep going. So I do one of my favorite tricks in music, and I learned it from John Williams, is that you don't modulate a half a step up, you don't modulate a step up, you modulate a third down. And there's always a lift. In the key of G. You're gonna go to the key of E. There's a lift. There's all of a sudden, there's Deck the Halls. And all of a sudden you're back into the key of G. Big org. And so Tyler comes to the party and just creates this massive bigness. Oh, is that the fourth song? It is, isn't it? So I've always wanted to do caroling, caroling through the snow, Christmas bells are ringing, da 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 da. Grew up listening to it my whole life. So to me, I wanted to create something that was a little faster. I wanted to just take you on a musical journey that was like, what? Wait, what's he doing now? Oh my God, where'd he go now? So there's a lot of twist and turn. And we had 12 of the most amazing singers in Nashville that just killed it. Yeah, and it's very, there's not big work, it's very light, violins plucking and harp, and there's brass on 2 bars of the whole song, but it's mainly just a lot of voices. Title track, oh my gosh, title track. Tony Wood, oh my gosh, Tony Wood. I love what's happening. And he actually sent me the lyric 2 times, which I never do this. It's so much easier for me to write the melody first, because I feel like I have no parameters. And I'm looking at it going, I can't do this, I can't do it, I can't do it. And all of a sudden I'm writing something. And the lyrics are so moving. Reminds me of my family again. Sometime every Christmas, can't say where, when, or why, but some moment or some memory takes me by surprise. And something in the season wells up in my eye. Sometime every Christmas I cry. And when I wrote that chorus, I'm thinking, we've got something. And the second verse is really emotional for me. Sit in my mother's living room with my father's empty chair, which reminds me of my dad. So, whew, I'm gonna go out on the limb here, but it might be my favorite. And then on the bridge. Big org. Angelic. And then the bridge, what the bridge says, when I read Luke chapter 2, how God came to pursue a world in need, someone like me. We used to sing this, not from the hymnal at this little Baptist church I grew up in. Every once in a while we'd have these Christmas musicals, and we would do, how great our joy, 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 joy. Then I heard it on all the old school LPs, and I thought, gosh, is there a way to do just a new version of How Great Our Joy? To me, what put it over the top was the singers and the arrangement that Tyler helped. We all pulled together. It's very choral, it's very magical, a little bit of vibrato, a little bit of not so pop, but a little bit of old school. Yeah, kind of magical. It reminds me of Sometime Every Christmas, but it's that whole, these magical, beautiful family moments that have happened my whole life. As a child, as an adult, start having children, and your children start having children, and well, you'll have somebody will tell every parent, "Well, man, seize the day, man. They're gonna be 18 before you know it." Oh yeah, whatever, and all of a sudden they're 18. So sometimes you get all these kids together and you go, I just want time to freeze. So it's kind of seizing the moment and appreciating how beautiful this thing is of what we have. Won't you freeze the frame, stop the hand of time, make the moon stand still in the sky. My only wish this Christmas Eve is that we could all remain forever here. Can we freeze the frame? Forever here. Can we freeze the frame? That's the farm version. That's today's version.
It's so good.
Change it up just a little bit. Every light that glistens. Oh, the one. Honestly, I was just trying to find something for the grandkids to sing. I think I was just noodling around. You know, you sit there going, I've heard that before. I've heard that before. But can you do that? And don't do the normal walk it all the way down and change the bass note. Sounds like family to me a little bit. And then I just finished the music and I gave it to Whitney. I said, Whit, you got an idea? And man, the lyric is just, I love it. May every light that glistens on every Christmas tree, may every decoration we hang for all to see, may all our old traditions we choose to carry on, the memories we cherish remind us of the one. That's where the one comes. And it's like, oh, these are, oh man, it's so good. Oh, okay, so I randomly called Cindy Morgan. I love her, she's amazing. She's just an amazing poetic writer. And I just had this crazy idea to call her up. I said, hey Cindy, I'm making a Christmas record. Do you have anything just floating through your head? And she sent me this lyric. And she sent me a melody, actually. I'll have to give her credit because I kind of took the melody and I massaged it and I kind of took it to another level a little bit. But it was definitely what she had at the beginning that inspired this whole thing. I wanted to do the whole thing a cappella and then I changed my mind. But at the very top, it's like, oh, the silent sky of a lonesome desert, Bethlehem just out of sight. A very minor key. And then when that first chorus comes in, every bed be a holy wonder, darkness runs from the voice of thunder, I have heard your cries, dry your weeping eyes, the newborn King, he comes tonight. It reminds me of something that would be sung in the Holy Land, you know, because it's haunting. And then the very end is sort of magical. Amazing lyric by Cindy, and I'm glad I put it on there. The Star, I think I got inspired by watching a Christmas episode of The Chosen. And it was a one-off because it's really not a part of the season, but there's this episode of three wise men and they're out in the desert and the wind blows and they're all like, you know, because it's all happening, you know, there's just pretty incredible. And then they end up showing up where Jesus was born. It's incredible. The music was amazing. So, and I thought, well, can I just paint something? Can I just paint something? You know, the beginning of that episode of those three wise men just out there under the stars. So the second part of the trilogy is the frightened, really. Oh my gosh, what's going on? This is out-of-body experience. Can you imagine? I mean, seriously, what's this angelic thing happening in the heavenlies, and they're being bombarded by it. And then all of a sudden they start making their way to the major scene, and then the whole last movement is very, very cinematic and very emotional. And I remember, I think the hard part was trying to figure out how to, I wanted to have this Emmanuel, really high, which I couldn't sing. So I asked Whitney to pretend to be like she was in a boys' choir. But she's singing really high. I think she did an amazing job. But to me, I wanted it to be childlike. It's a magical moment, and Tyler orchestrated that, and it's pretty epic. If I'm not mistaken, Tony sent this to me. I thought I did the music first, but I didn't. These are 3 songs that Tony sent me a lyric, and I think I wrote the music to it. So I love writing hymns, and I've written several, and mainly on my Christmas projects. Really, actually, probably one of my first hymns I ever wrote was, if you're calling it hymns. I mean, you got How Majestic Is Your Name in the hymn book, you got Praise the Lord. Those are contemporary hymns, but to write something that really sounds like a hymn. I think the very first hymn that I wrote was for Amy, it's a Christmas record. That very first Christmas record, which is one of my favorite songs I've ever written with her. So when he sent me this lyric, it's a hymn. When I wrote it and going, oh my gosh, I think this is gonna make the record, it's gotta have an orchestra, it's gotta have a choir. A great memory is going to Brentwood Baptist and having 300 singers singing God with God. It's just incredible. Yeah. Christmas at Wildwood. What a crazy thing. This is a studio that's really close to my house. I love the studio. It's a great room, but I love the studio because they have my favorite piano. This is my favorite piano, and it's a Yamaha. I show up, I just go... And I'm not playing exactly the way I played it. Whatever, I start playing this, just making it up on the fly. There's something that was just, it made me think about Christmas, honestly. Just piano, and I kept going, Rob, are you recording? Rob Burrow, my engineer, are you recording, Rob? I'm in red, I'm recording. I think it was the last time that I played it. I sort of kind of nailed it. I thought, I can't think of a better way to end the Christmas album. Christmas at Wildwood. There you go.